Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Star Flames. So Sean Diddy Combs has been hit with another lawsuit, and this person that is suing him is absolutely no stranger. Now her name is Dawn. She is a former group member of Dainty Kane group. That's a group that Diddy took under his wings, said that he was gonna mentor them. They had a reality TV series and everything going on. We could see, some instance of Sean Diddy Combs' narcissism towards the group while they were on national TV. But the thing I don't appreciate with Dawn is the fact that when Aubrey O'Day has been talking consistently about the brutality that they face at the hands of this man, where were you at that time, Dawn? Or is it that you finally, mustered up the strength to come out and tell your side of the story? Now, Dawn is not just telling her side of the story. She's talking about instances where she suspected that Kim Porter was being abused. She's talking about witnessing Cassie Ventura being abused and degraded by Sean Diddy Combs. Let's get into it, because this is another bombshell lawsuit, and if anyone has dismissed any previous allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, I believe with Dawn coming out with this lawsuit is gonna wanna, make people pay attention to what she has to say. Now, she's suing Sean Diddy Combs for his sexual abuse as well as other monstrous behavior. Let's get into this report. Now, according to TMZ, Diddy is facing yet another lawsuit from a new accuser, a former bandmate who claims the music mogul belittled, terrorized, and sexually abused her, while she also witnessed him savagely beat his ex, Cassie. According to the suit obtained by TMZ, Dawn Richards says she got caught in Diddy's web as a participant, just like all the other females said. Now, this is on his 2004 MTV show, Making the Band, with the Bad Boy CEO manipulating her by promise to advance her singing career if she relented to his alleged twisted demands. Now, guys, let's stick up in there for a second, because if you have seen even one of the previous lawsuits, you will realize that this seems to be a recurrent statement by the females. He promises them career, but then for them to be delivered something else. Let's continue. The former Dainty Kane member said during on-set auditions, Diddy called female contestants fat, ugly, bitches, hoes. She said Diddy had particular disdain for her because she was young and excited to work with such a famous person. I mean, let's keep it real. What a young lady wouldn't be, because at that time, Sean Diddy Combs was Sean Diddy Combs. He was at his peak. Everyone loved him. Many people in the industry worship him, and they were willing to cover for him as it relates to the mess that he has been, carrying out. So naturally, Dawn would have drawn to, believing anything that comes out of his mouth. But did we see Diddy doing anything for these females? No, because if you remember carefully, Cassie had an old career in the music industry, one that was booming right before Sean Diddy Combs. Every song that Cassie did was a hit, but when she was with Diddy, all of that was taken away from her. So he's a narcissist. He plays mind games with these ladies, and as such, I believe Dawn. But again, I have to say, I wish that Dawn would have stood by what Aubrey O'Day has been saying from the get-go. But let's continue. Now, in 2005, the court doc says Richard saw another of Diddy's former girlfriend, Kim Porter, crying as she left a music studio with her face all banged up. It was then, Richard says, she realized Diddy was capable of violence and her life could be in danger. Now, a year later, Richard was present when Diddy was first introduced to Cassie, invading her space while transfixed on her in a predatory fashion, according to the docs. Now, in 2009, she says she personally witnessed Diddy, high and drug, threw Cassie against a wall, choke her, and dragged her up a flight of stairs in his LA home. And we've heard about that instance with him abusing Cassie more than once. So what Dawn is saying is that the minute that Diddy, first introduced Cassie, Cassie was basically fixated on by him. He was basically obsessed with her, and I believe that we can even see instances of such coming out today. You guys remember when he was with Young Miami, he did not give anyone any praise but Cassie for basically holding things down for him. You would think that the current woman under his arm would be given such recognition, but no, it is Cassie. But then I understand that he has had so many years with her, so naturally, but some people, they would say, you know what, I appreciate Cassie for the time that she was there. You're here now, and you have done amazingly well as well with supporting me, but he didn't do any of that. So I think it's fair to say that we have evidence of instance of what Don is saying with him being fixated on Cassie Ventura. Now, let's continue. Richard says Diddy also hurled a scalding pan of eggs at Cassie while yelling, "I've been asking you for my ish. I can't stand you, bitch. You never do it right." On other occasions, Richard says Diddy socked Cassie in the face and wrapped his hands around her throat, attempted to strangle her inside his LA mansion. Something similar to what we saw on that CNN viral footage, so you guys can relate. Now, at some point, Richard says she and others, including her Diddy Dirty Money bandmate Kalena Harper, showed their support to Cassie and advised her to leave Diddy, who found out about the conversation and threatened, "Y'all bitches don't get in my relationship," adding, "Don't tell my bitch Cassie what she need to be doing. Just make money and shut the F up. I end artists. I shove career. You could be missing. You bitches wanna die today?" So basically, she's saying that's the threat that Sean Diddy Combs hurled at them consistently, and as such, they were consistently threatened and belittled. Let's continue. Meanwhile, Richard says she too became a victim of Diddy's abuse, forcing her to rehearse 48 hours at a time without sleep. As a result, she says she dropped a lot of weight and became dehydrated and fatigued while suffering awful rashes. She says one time Diddy demanded she come to visit his home, where he was only wearing underwear. When she asked him to put on clothes, Diddy refused, screaming, "This is my effing house." Well, it is. And if you see such behavior, I don't know why you would be so brave to go to his home alone. But let's continue, guys. Diddy's treatment of Richard got worse. She says between 2009 and 2011, Richard says Diddy once barged into her dressing room while she was naked at his recording studio. She says Diddy inappropriately touched her breasts and butt. Diddy, she says, also locked her in a car with heavily tinted window for 2 hours as she screamed for help, even calling her dad for help. Richard claims her dad traveled from Baltimore to New York to free his daughter and confronted Diddy, threatening to report him to the police. But she says Diddy told her dad, "Think about your daughter and think about your daughter's career." That's what he did. And that's the end of that as it relates to, the details that are coming out in this lawsuit. Now, it's very interesting to see, people, I have to say, someone who was in his circle, it's very interesting to see the statements that she has come out with. And I honestly believe everything that she's saying in this lawsuit. It doesn't matter what her current financial status is or whatever is going on. The mere fact that she's saying that she had these, experiences with him, it is really sad. And no one should have to experience these things, especially, not because they want to have a career in the music industry, and Diddy had the advantage of giving that. He still didn't give that to them. These girls, based on several reports, based on everything that Aubrey O'Day has shared with us, oftentimes they don't even get a penny. So it's really sad, really unfortunate, but it's going to be really interesting to see how this lawsuit turns out. I want to see if this is going to be one of those that is going to be quick to settle out of court, because it seems as though, when the females like a Cassie who was close, this group, I have to say at one point they were really close. So I have to see what comes out of this. Is it that he's going to settle out of court? Is it that he's going to retaliate? The sum that she's suing for so far, it's not been highlighted. So I want to see what happens. Remember, thumbs up, subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys updated. Bye, guys.